Hello everyone, welcome to Lukmaan IAS. Today we are going to have the Hindu newspaper analysis dated 27th of August 2023. As you know that Sunday's newspaper discussion is taken every Monday, right? And on Sunday, the Hindu comes up with science and technology related topics. So there are many topics that comes every Sunday from science and technology section in the newspaper. And today we are going to cover all those important science and tech related topics, and also there were some topics in the frequently asked questions section. Okay, so there is a FAQ section in the Hindu that comes every Sunday. Okay, so the Hindu variant of every Sunday is little different from the regular the Hindu that comes, right? So let us start the discussion on today's newspaper. So these are the list of articles that I am going to cover during the discussion today with you. Apart from this, these are other articles. Okay, so there are some topics for the prelims specific that we have named as PT pointers. Along with this, we are also going to cover some questions for discussion. All right. So let's discuss the first topic. So this topic is from Science and Technology section itself, and this topic is important for GS paper 3 of the mains exam. And also it is important for the prelims exam, right? So this topic is from the Chandrayaan. It says, after Chandrayaan 3, what are ISRO's plans, right? After Chandrayaan 3, what are ISRO's plans? So let us understand this topic. So name of the topic is after Chandrayaan 3, what are ISRO's plans? What are ISRO's plans? So before we discuss about the future plans of ISRO, let us quickly look into what is Chandrayaan 3, right? We are quickly going to look into this. So when we talk about Chandrayaan 3 mission, right? Chandrayaan 3 mission that ISRO has recently launched, right? So this mission has been launched by ISRO, and almost all the components that were used in Chandrayaan 3 were indigenously made in India. Okay, so most of them are indigenously made in India. This particular mission had 3 objectives. Okay, this particular mission has 3 objectives. So what are those objectives? One of the objective is to demonstrate, right? So we wanted to demonstrate a soft landing. Okay, to demonstrate a soft and safe landing on the surface of the moon. Okay, on south pole of the moon. Okay, south pole of the moon. So this was one of the objective of Chandrayaan 3 mission. And we have achieved this particular objective of Chandrayaan 3 mission on 23rd of August. Okay, on 23rd of August, right? We have successfully, okay, 23rd August 2023. On this date, we have successfully soft landed the lander module on the south pole of the moon. So let me draw moon. Let's say this is the moon, right? And this is north pole of the moon. This is south pole of the moon. Nearby south pole at about 69.32 degrees south and this 32.34 degree east. So here, like, we have made a soft landing of the lander module. So the first objective of the Chandrayaan mission, right? First objective of Chandrayaan 3 mission was achieved by ISRO on 23rd of August. And if I talk about what was the second objective of the Chandrayaan 3 mission, this second objective was to demonstrate, right? We wanted to demonstrate the rover. The rover means inside the lander module itself. Let's say, like, this is the lander module. Let's say this is the lander module of Chandrayaan, right? So from inside the lander module, what has happened, like, we have opened a door, and here, like, a wheeled, let's say, robot came out, and that wheeled robot is known as rover module. Okay, so this is known as rover module. So what we wanted to do, we wanted to demonstrate the rover, right, traveling or roving, okay, on the surface of the moon, on the moon. So this we wanted to perform. So that has also been done by ISRO on the very second day, right? On the second day, ISRO has told us through images, like ISRO has shared the images also of the rover. It has shared video that the rover started roving on the surface of the moon. So the second objective of the Chandrayaan-3 mission was also achieved. It is also achieved fully. And the third objective of Chandrayaan-3 mission was to conduct in situ, right? To conduct in situ chemical analysis, okay, in situ chemical analysis on the surface of the moon. And this thing is being done by ISRO, okay, so this is in progress, okay, this particular thing is in progress. And like, you know, yesterday ISRO has shared a temperature graph. So it has done analysis of the variation of temperature on the surface of the moon and on the topmost soil of the moon. So this thing is being undertaken by the rover module. So almost all the objectives of Chandrayaan-3 has been achieved by ISRO. And is it a remarkable success? Yes, this is a remarkable success because Indian Space Research Organization became the only organization in the world, the first organization in the world to do a soft landing, right? Soft landing on the south pole of the moon. So far, no other country has landed their spacecraft, landed their robotic instruments on south pole of the moon. Only India has done it. So India became the first country, right? India became the first country to have done a successful landing on the south pole of the moon. And if we talk about overall landings that has been done by many other countries, so far only 3 other countries have done so. The United States of America, the Soviet Union, or you can say Russia, and the third is China, okay. So these 3 countries have done let's say landing of the moon on landing of their spacecrafts on moon. India became the 4th country to conduct a landing and first country to do the soft landing on the south pole of the moon. So this is a remarkable feat. Having understood this, now let us understand, right? Having understood this, now let us understand like what ISRO wants to achieve now. Okay, so what's next? So what's next? So what ISRO wants to do next after this particular Chandrayaan-3 mission? Now, like, you know, in the timeline of ISRO, they have many such objectives, right? Many similar objectives that it wants to achieve. One of the mission that ISRO wants to conduct, it is known as LUPEX mission, okay? LUPEX stands for lunar, okay, LUPEX stands for lunar polar, okay, lunar polar exploration, okay, lunar polar exploration mission, So what is this lunar polar exploration mission? This lunar polar exploration mission is a joint initiative, okay, it's a joint initiative of Japan and India, okay, of Japan and India. So Japan is going to send its own, let's say, like, you know, this thing, orbiter, okay, it is going to send its own orbiter in the LUPEX mission. However, India is going to provide the lander and rover module, okay, lander and rover module for the LUPEX mission. And this lander module is going to be more sophisticated, okay, it is going to be more sophisticated as compared to, okay, as compared to the Chandrayaan-3 mission as well. Okay, so this is in the line. This is like, you know, some of the scientists have also termed this particular mission as Chandrayaan-4 mission. Okay, they have termed it as Chandrayaan-4 mission. So this is in the pipeline of ISRO. ISRO wants to achieve this thing. Apart from this, there is another program of ISRO that ISRO wants to conduct. This program is known as Aditya L1 mission. Okay, Aditya L1 mission. So what is Aditya L1 mission? Using Aditya L1 mission, the Indian Space Research Organization, right? It is going to be conducted by Indian Space Research Organization, and ISRO wants to study, right? What it wants to do, it wants to study the sun, okay? It wants to study the sun and its coronal emissions, right? So this Aditya L1 mission, like when it is going to be launched, it will be launched the very next month, in the month of September itself, okay? So in Aditya L1 mission, what we are going to do, right? We are going to, let's say, do an analysis, right? We are going to send the Aditya L1 rocket from where? We are going to send it from Earth, and we are going to send it somewhere between Earth and the Sun. Let's consider this is Sun, okay? Let's say this is Earth. So we are going to send it at L1 point. What is L1 point? This L1 is known as Lagrange point 1, okay? This is known as Lagrange, okay? Lagrange point 1. So we are going to send a spacecraft to Lagrange point 1 between Earth and Sun. So what happens at Lagrange point 1? This is the point where the spacecraft is going to experiment zero gravity, okay? It is going to, let's say, experience zero gravity. Why zero gravity? Because at this Lagrange point, the gravitational force of both the Sun and Earth balances out each other. So the third object, the spacecraft that we are going to send, it is going to experience zero or very less, right? Zero or very less gravity. So it will be able to stay there, let's say, like, without any fuel. It does not need any fuel. So it will be stable at this particular point. Now the question arises, how many Lagrange points exist between two heavenly bodies like Earth and Sun? So generally there are 4 Lagrange points, okay? How many Lagrange points exist? 4 Lagrange points exist between two bodies. So the first Lagrange point is known as L1. The second Lagrange point lies just opposite to the smaller body, which is known as L2. Third Lagrange point lies opposite to the bigger mass, which is known as L3. Fourth Lagrange points lie somewhere here, which is known as L4. Fifth lies here, L5, okay? So these 4 and 5th, they can be connected like this, okay? They can be connected like this. So they make an angle of 60 degree. They make an angle of 60 degree, okay? So like this. Now, which Lagrange point is the most stable? So among them all, L2 is considered to be the most stable, right? Then followed by L3 and followed by L4 and L5, okay? Means like, this L1 is little less, less stable as compared to L2, okay? L1 is little less stable as compared to L2. However, we are going to send the spacecraft to L1 because it is the nearest point between Earth and Sun, okay? From here, it will be easy for this spacecraft to do a study of Aditya L1. So this is one of the next thing that ISRO wants to achieve. Apart from this, the next thing that ISRO wants to achieve is, let's say there is another thing. So ISRO wants to experiment with, right, reusable launch vehicle, okay? Reusable launch vehicle. So what are reusable launch vehicles? This is also known as RLV, reusable launch vehicle. Technology demonstrator, okay? It is known as reusable launch vehicle technology demonstrator. So I'm going to write the full name, reusable launch vehicle technology demonstrator, okay? Demonstrator, RLVTD. So what is this? Basically, like, for launching any space missions, we use a launch vehicle. For example, for launching Chandrayaan 3, we have used launch vehicle Mark 3. What we have used? We have used launch vehicle Mark 3, okay? Mark 3. So what is this launch vehicle Mark 3? This is a spacecraft, like, that launches the satellites, okay? So this launch vehicle Mark 3 is a modified version, okay? It is a modified version of geosynchronous, okay? Geosynchronous satellite launch vehicle, GSLV. It is the modified version of it. This launch vehicle Mark 3 is so far the heaviest, the strongest satellite launch vehicle that Indian Space Research Organization has. And ISRO is going to use this particular same launch vehicle, it is going to use this launch vehicle Mark 3, okay, for launching the Aditya L1 mission also, okay. It is going to use this launch vehicle Mark 3 for Aditya L1 mission as well. Now, apart from this, right, so what is reusable launch vehicle? So reusable launch vehicle are those launch vehicle that can be used to launch multiple different kind of satellites. So it will be used to launch, and after that it is going to fall on the ocean and it will be recovered, okay. As of now, the launch vehicles that we are using, so it is once used and after then, let's say like it is discarded. However, the reusable launch vehicle is going to, let's say like, we will be able to reuse the launch vehicle again and again. That will bring down the cost of operations, cost of launching of satellites, right? So that's a ongoing mission, right? So ISRO is doing experiments on this. Apart from this, ISRO has another mission which is in the pipeline, which is known as Gaganyaan mission, okay? It is Gaganyaan mission. So what is this Gaganyaan mission? Under this Gaganyaan mission, like, we are going to send astronauts, okay? What we are going to do? We are going to send astronauts. To International Space Station. We are going to send astronauts to, let's say like, low Earth orbit basically. So here, like, human beings will be sent, okay? Human beings will be sent to space. Human beings will be sent. So that's why this Gaganyaan mission is also known as human space flight mission. What we know it as? We know it as human space flight mission, okay? Because humans will be sent. And for sending human beings, all the components that are being used, they will be human rated. So that like if an astronaut enters into that thing, he gets habitable environment within the satellite, okay? So that he gets habitable environment within the satellite. So that's why this Gaganyaan mission is a very important mission of Indian Space Research Organization. So these are the upcoming missions of ISRO, right? These are the upcoming missions. And people are also saying that Indian Space Research Organization has already started working on Chandrayaan 5 and Chandrayaan 6. Why Chandrayaan 5 and 6? Because like, they are naming that lunar polar, LUPEX mission that India is going to do with Japan. So that will be a LUPEX mission will be considered to be a what? Chandrayaan 4 mission, like that. So with this, let us quickly move to the next topic. And before that, like, I do have a question for you. You need to write an answer to this question. It says, what is ISRO's role in making India a global space power? Okay. So you need to write down the role that ISRO has played in making India a global space power. Discuss the various upcoming missions of ISRO. Okay. So all these missions I have discussed with you, right? So many more missions will be there, but so far the upcoming missions have been discussed with you. After this, let us move to the next topic. This topic is again very, very important. So through this topic, we are going to understand about one very important aspect related to healthcare facilities in India. Okay, healthcare facilities in India. So it says, what is the care protocol for babies in India? Now, why this topic came? Because recently it was reported in the news that one nurse, one person, so one nurse from Britain, Great Britain, what she has done, she has, let's say, killed 7 babies within 1 year. She has killed 7 babies within 1 year, and she was about to kill 6 more babies because she was a nurse who was, let's say, stationed in the facility where newborn babies, where deliveries happen, okay, where neonatal care is taken care of. Okay, so what has happened, many people, 7 babies she has killed, and recently one of the their court in Great Britain, they have given life imprisonment. Okay, they have given life imprisonment to that particular lady nurse. Her name is Lucy Ledby. Okay, her name is Lucy Ledby. So she has killed 7 babies and she was about to kill 6 more babies. Okay, so this raises a serious concern related to health facilities in British and in India and across the world. Okay, because those facilities where newborn babies are kept. So these facilities require utmost care, it requires utmost importance, it requires utmost, let's say, like, facilities. Most of the state of the art facilities are needed over there. But like, this also raises questions about India's health infrastructure. So in this article, they have talked about what are patient safety provisions in India. Okay, so do we have any rules, do we have any policy in place that talks about patient safety related things? Yes, we do have the rules, we do have the policies in place. One of the policy is framed by the Union Health Ministry, and this is known as National Patient Safety Implementation Framework. Okay, so name of the framework is National Patient Safety Implementation Framework. Okay, this is an important framework that has been talked about in this article. It says that, like, this particular framework, like, patients in India are protected under multiple layers of law that are largely fragmented. Means in India we do have different types of law and policies in place which are fragmented. Means like they are not in one place, they are, let's say, different kind of legislations that are in place and that protect the patients in India. And so the Hippocratic Oath itself, so the first idea of patient safety is enshrined in the Hippocratic Oath. So what do we mean by Hippocratic Oath? We are going to discuss about it. So let's discuss about this particular thing. What do we mean by Hippocratic Oath? So basically those medical students, right? For example, I'll take the example of MBBS students, right? So those students who are studying medicine, those students who are studying for that matter, let's say any field of medicine, the year when they graduate, right? So like for few years they undergo, let's say, like, theoretical studies and all, they attend labs also. In the final year they do internship where, like, they work in hospitals among patients, right? And just before getting their degree, right, so they are given an oath, and that oath is known as Hippocratic Oath. And in that oath, they take this oath that they will, right, at anyhow take the life of the patient as the primary goal. They want to, let's say, save the life of the patient as the primary goal, right? So this is the thing. So they want to protect the life of the patient first, and after then other considerations will follow. So this is known as Hippocratic Oath. So this is the first stage where doctors are told that, like, to protect the patients, okay, in hospital facilities. Additionally, like, we have the Consumer Protection Act that deals with medical negligence and deficiency of cases. And then we do have legal rights of patients as set in the Clinical Establishment Act. Okay, Consumer Protection Act is there, Clinical Establishment Act is there. Then we have National Pharmaceutical Pricing Authority and Drugs Controller General of India. So they all have mechanism to shield patients' right in terms of medication devices, and are protected that are not and that they are not overcharged, among other things. So like in India, we do have many legislations in place. Apart from this, it says how is neonatal safety maintained. Okay, neonatal means the safety of the newborn babies, the babies who are, like, recently delivered. So newborn babies, how they are protected. So their safety is maintained through neonatal safety. So the thing is, like, the Hindu people, they have interacted with one of the doctor from All India Institute of Medical Sciences, AIIMS, Delhi. So that doctor has said that all the doctors who are working in hospitals, all the nurses who are working in hospitals, they are properly trained in hospital facilities. They are trained in such a manner that, like, they understand the need of the patient. They understand the need of, let's say, informing the relatives of the patients. So the thing is, like, these healthcare professionals, they are working round the year 24/7, and they are trained so much that, like, they know what is the meaning of patient safety. And the doctor has responded that, like, such kind of negligence, I mean, like, there can be some issues of human error, there can be some issues of, let's say, technical failure. However, patient safety is given utmost importance in India. And also the doctor has said that the thing is, like, the case that has happened in British, this is rarest of rare case that may happen in India. Okay, so I mean, like, only those people who are psychiatric, who are, let's say, psychiatric people who are mentally ill, only they can do such activities that has happened in Great Britain. Okay, so this is the thing. Now, if we talk about the support the newborn babies require, it has been noticed, right, from previous studies by different health organizations across the world, that, like, among the neonatal death rate, I mean, like, among the death rate of all the babies that are born, okay, let's say, like, 1 lakh babies born, out of them, let's say 28 babies die. So out of them, like, some number of people die within 24 hours, then rest is within 27 days, others is within 28 days. So from the day of birth till 28 days, this is the most crucial time period for newborn babies. And during this time period, they should be, let's say, cared so much, they should be protected so much. And, like, the World Health Organization has also released guidelines for the parents, that what the parents' role should be in this case. The parents should be round the clock, they should be, let's say, ready to take care of the children. Okay, they should be ready to take care of the children. And also, the moment they notice that there is any abnormality related to, let's say, breathing of the children, or let's say if there are infections, right, of the children, so in that case they should quickly inform the medical healthcare professional so that they can take care of this particular thing. So this is a very, very good article, and this article actually, like, raises our awareness, of all the UPSC aspirants and other people also, related to taking care of the neonatal health. I mean, like, taking care of the newly born babies. Okay. So with this, let us come to the next topic. This topic is again very, very important. It says, missed childhood TB cases impede achieving 2025 goal. So the thing is, what is 2025 goal? The government of India has taken a target for itself to, let's say, make the TB cases to go to zero by the year 2025. This target has been taken by the government in the year of 2017 itself. However, we have taken the target, we have been working. So are we in, let's say, like, line to achieve this target? The author says, no, we are not, near to achieving target. Why? Because we are missing on the issue of child TB. Okay, so TB that happens to children's. Okay, TB that happens to children's. What is TB? TB stands for tuberculosis. Okay, TB is a disease, right, that happens to children. So the thing is, in this article they say that nearly 0.34 million children below the age of 15 years in India are estimated to get TB disease every year. Okay, so below 15 years of age, nearly 0.34 million. Okay, means, like, around 34,000 people, or maybe like 3.4 lakh people, like, children may get tuberculosis every year. While children in this age group are estimated to contribute to about 13% of the total TB case load, only 6% are notified. Okay, means it is considered that 13% of this particular number of people may get TB. However, only 6% of the cases are notified. Other cases are even not notified. Okay, they are not known. Okay, so it says eliminating TB by 2025, break prospects. Okay, so I am going to read whatever there is given in the box, that will help you to understand everything, the content. Okay, it says globally at least 1.2 million children aged less than 15 years fall ill with TB every year. About 56% of them are not detected. Okay, so means like 1.2. Around 12 lakh children globally get TB every year, and more than half of them are not reported, they are not detected. And it says the estimated mortality of children with TB who fail to receive treatment is about 22%, means those children who get affected by TB and they are not treated, 22% of them are likely to die. Okay, then it says India contributes nearly 1/3 of the global childhood TB burden. Okay, So India contributes 1/3 of the global childhood TB burden. So the thing is, we have huge prevalence of tuberculosis in India. While the number of TB cases notified in India has increased since 2015, notifications of childhood TB have remained constant at 6% each year. They say actually the number of TB cases has increased in India. However, the reporting of TB cases has remained stagnant. It has remained constant at 6%. Then it says nearly 3.34% million children in India aged below 15 years are estimated to get TB every year. Okay, and children, so this, like, this has been mentioned in the subtitle itself. Then it says, but in 2022 only these many children were notified. Okay, so the thing is, like, in this article they have talked about the prevalence of TB in India, and they have also discussed about why the government of India is not near achieving this particular target of eliminating TB by 2025. So it says, finally there has been a reduction in BCG vaccination of children during the pandemic. Okay, so that has also led to, let's say, like, more prevalence of, let's say, similar tuberculosis cases in India. So this article highlights about the importance of looking, right, at TB. So we need to give more emphasis on treatment of TB. So with this, like, we came to another topic. It says PMJDY. PMJDY stands for Pradhan Mantri Jan Dhan Yojana. Okay, you might be knowing that, like, few years back the government of India has started a project which is known as Financial Inclusion Project. Okay, Financial Inclusion Project. So under this project, like, those people who are unbanked means who do not have any financial let's say, like, banking account, who do not have any banking account in any bank. So those are also given access to banks, right, through Pradhan Mantri Jan Dhan Yojana. So under this scheme, people were allowed to open zero balance accounts, which is also known as no frills accounts. Okay, zero balance means you can open a bank account and you do not need to, let's say, keep some money as deposits in the account. You might be knowing that in most of the banks, private sector banks, if you want to open an account, you need to keep at least 10,000, right, as average monthly balance. If in case you do not keep it, they are going to charge you. They are going to, let's say, like, penalize you. However, this Pradhan Mantri Jan Dhan Yojana, this thing was started by the government of India to provide financial inclusion for those people who never had any bank account. Means, like, there are many people in the rural India, there are many people in the, let's say, like, other parts of India, right? Other parts means, like, third tier cities and also rural India, who do not have any bank account. For them, this facility was started, and recently it has been noticed that like, this Pradhan Mantri Jan Dhan Yojana accounts have surpassed 50 crore. Okay, means, like, more than 50 crore people have Pradhan Mantri Jan Dhan Yojana accounts with them. And these accounts, under this particular mission, these accounts have together a deposit which has crossed 2 lakh crore. Okay, it has crossed 2 lakh crore. And apart from this, the government of India is also taking further initiatives to, let's say, generate awareness among the people who are unbanked, who do not have, let's say, any bank account, so that they can also open their account with Pradhan Mantri Jan Dhan Yojana. Okay, so it says banking the unbanked. 9 years on, the number of bank accounts under Pradhan Mantri Jan Dhan Yojana have crossed 50 crore, says center. Means, like, now it has been 9 years that Pradhan Mantri Jan Dhan Yojana accounts were opened for the first time. So as of August 16, 50.09 crore accounts have been opened. Okay, so, like, they have mentioned the numbers. Number of zero balance accounts had slid sharply from 58% in March to just 8%. Okay, so in March 2015, they, let's say, those people who have opened their account, so they had, let's say, around 58% of those people did not have any money in their account. Now it has gone down, means, like, 8% only. Although this is a no frills account, you do not need to maintain any balance. However, if you want to deposit money, you can keep money in your account. That's the thing, that's the purpose. And the purpose of this thing is financial inclusion of unbanked population in India. Okay, so this has also let's say, created a record, right, in the history of financial inclusion in India and across the world. Okay, so with this, like, we are going to move to the next topic. This topic says moon landing spot is now Shiv Shakti, right? So the thing is, like, recently the Prime Minister of India has visited the Indian Space Research Organization. After visiting, he has met with all the scientists who were part of the Chandrayaan-3 mission. And after meeting them, the Prime Minister of India has decided that the place where Chandrayaan-3 has made a landing, that particular place will be given a name, and that will be named as Shiv Shakti Point. Okay, that will be named as Shiv Shakti Point. Okay, it will be named as Shiv Shakti Point. That's the thing. And also, the Prime Minister of India has given name to the Chandrayaan-2 lander also. Chandrayaan-2 tried to land, right? However, it crash landed. So the Prime Minister of India has given a name to that point also. It will be called as Tiranga Point. Okay, it will be called as Tiranga Point. So this is important. So what do we mean by this Shiv? Okay, here it says, in Shiv there is a resolution for the welfare of humanity, and Shakti gives us strength to fulfill those resolutions. Okay, so Shiv Shakti Point on the moon will be that point where the Chandrayaan-3 lander has landed. Okay, so they have said, and 23rd August, when the Chandrayaan-3 has actually made a landing on the south pole of the moon, that day will be celebrated as National Space Day. Okay, that day will be celebrated as National Space Day. August 23 every year will be celebrated as National Space Day to commemorate, right, the event of Chandrayaan-3 landing on the south pole of the moon. Okay, so this is the thing. So that's why this article has been shared. Okay, so it is very important that, like, we understand that these naming phenomena has recently happened, and, like, this will give, let's say, another boost. Okay, Tiranga is a point related to Chandrayaan-2, Shiv Shakti related to Chandrayaan-3, National Space Day, the day when we made a landing on moon. Okay, that's the thing. So with this, we came to another topic. This topic is important under art and culture. Okay, it's important under art and culture section. Okay, it's important under art and culture section. So what is important for us to understand? We need to understand the name of this particular art, which is known as Seethakali art. Okay, it is Seethakali folk art. So this art is actually performed in the state of Kerala. Okay, it is performed in the state of Kerala. So we need to associate name of this art form with Kerala. So it is a performing art. Performing art means it includes storytelling, it includes dancing, it includes, let's say, many other things as part of this. Okay, so it is a performing art. Okay, so, like, we do have art forms of various types. One of the type is known as visual arts, for example, monuments, other things. Then performing arts, where actually, like, people perform, for example, folk dance, songs. So this art form includes storytelling, singing, dancing, etc. Okay, so this Seethakali folk art is going to be performed. It is going to be performed at G20 venue in Delhi. So these people have been invited from the state of Kerala to perform during the G20 summit. Okay, during the G20 summit. So that's why this came in the news. Okay, so you need to remember its name so that, okay, so that, like, you will be able to answer if a question comes in the prelims exam. Now we have another topic. This topic is again very important. This topic is related to one banking institution which is known as Asian Development Bank. In short, we call it as ADB. Okay, Asian Development Bank. So through this topic, we are going to understand 2-3 connected issues. Okay, that will help you to solve questions in the prelims and mains exam. So it says Asian Development Bank, Center to open climate change and health centers in Delhi. Okay, so recently what has happened, that World Health Organization, right, people from World Health Organization, they have visited the state of Gujarat in India, and after visiting, the chairman or the let's say presiding officer of the WHO, okay, so that person has said that, like, WHO Center for Global Traditional Medicine, okay, will be set up in Gujarat. So the first center, okay, first center for WHO Global Traditional Medicine, okay, will be set up in Gujarat. So this is the first center that will be established in Gujarat that will recognize the importance of traditional medicine systems, right, across the world. And in India, we already have our traditional medicine system which is in place, that is known as Ayush. Ayush stands for Ayurveda, Yoga, Unani, Naturopathy, Siddha, Homeopathy, and Soarikpa. So 5 of them are mentioned as acronym. 2 are other. Okay, it is Ayurveda, Yoga, Unani, Siddha, and Homeopathy. Okay, so the first traditional medicine global center of WHO is being established in Gujarat. That's an important tipping point. Apart from this, the World Health Organization, right, has also talked about, right, they have also talked about that they are now going to set up a climate related facility also in India. Okay, so there will be a climate related facility in India, so that will take care of global greenhouse gas emission related aspects. Okay, so this is the thing. And in this article they have mentioned one specific, let's say, program of the World Health Organization. It is important that you remember the name of that program. Its name is ATTACH. ATTACH stands for Alliance for Transformative Action on Climate and Health. Okay, Alliance for Transformative Action on Climate and Health. This is known as ATTACH. So this is the thing. It is led by World Health Organization, WHO. Okay, this particular thing is led by World Health Organization. So it is important that you remember the name of this particular program of World Health Organization also, which is known as ATTACH. So with this, let us quickly move to the next topic. Now before that, like, we have a question, you need to solve this question. Let's see. Okay, consider the following statements about Asian Development Bank. It says the bank focuses on key areas of development that are aligned with the World Bank's Sustainable Development Goals. Okay, so you might get confused. The Sustainable Development Goals are of United Nations organization, right? However, the World Bank is attached, right, through some treaty with United Nations, and the World Bank has adopted the Sustainable Development Goals for itself. Okay, like India has adopted Sustainable Development Goals that are led by the United Nations organization. So World Bank has also let's say adopted it. So in this article, it says the ADB, this particular bank, Asian Development Bank, focuses on key areas of development that are aligned with the World Bank Sustainable Development Goal. This statement is right. Second, it says India is a founding member of ADB and bank's 4th largest shareholder. This is also important. Okay, this is also right. So both these statements are right in this question. Okay, so both these statements are right. Okay, so correct answer for this question will be option C. Okay, option C will be the right answer. So you need to go through the solution also. In your free time, you can pause the video and read it, or you can download the PDF from the description of the YouTube video and go through it. Okay, so with this, let us come to the next topic. This we are about to, let's say, cover all the topics by now, so only few topics are remaining. Now it says tangible heritage is the history and identity of a nation, says Modi. Okay, so the Prime Minister Narendra Modi, he has participated in the cultural meeting of G20. Okay, so G20 culture ministers meeting was there, and in that meeting the Prime Minister of India has highlighted the importance of artifacts, highlighted the importance of, let's say, tangible heritage. Tangible heritage means something that can be touched. Okay, for example, the artifacts we have, the buildings we have. So he has highlighted the importance of that. It says that it does not have only material value, but like it has values that are associated with culture, that are associated with our, let's say, long back tradition, and it is connected with our history also. So he has highlighted the importance of, let's say, importance of safeguarding our tangible heritage, and also he has highlighted about the importance, right, of, let's say, receiving back. Okay, the receiving back means restitution of cultural property. Restitution means, for example, there are some tangible artifacts that are, let's say, stolen or taken from India to the United Kingdom, or let's say to the United States of America. Now, since these artifacts belong to India, so India can take initiatives, India can take efforts to bring back those artifacts, right? To bring back those artifacts. That will be known as restitution. Okay, restitution. It will be known as restitution. So recently, the Prime Minister of India has visited the United States of America, and they have decided to give back more than 100 such artifacts. So that's why the Prime Minister of India has highlighted that, like, the government of India has taken efforts to restitute the tangible cultural property, tangible cultural heritage. So, he has highlighted this particular aspect to the culture ministers of G20, right? Participating countries. Now, this topic is again related to with the previous topic. It says G20 nations arrive at consensus on issue of cultural heritage. Okay. So this cultural heritage related issue is there, and all the countries have reached a common agreement. Common agreement means consensus, where like all the parties are agreeing to one standpoint. So recently the cultural ministry of WHO, so they have come up with, recently the G20, right, G20 cultural ministers together, they have come out with a common document which is known as the outcome document. Okay, this outcome document comprises the entire text which was unanimously agreed to by all the G20 members. Okay, except paragraph 15. So they have mentioned. Okay, so here we need to understand that, like, these among G20 countries also there is a consensus that, like, we need to safeguard, we need to preserve our cultural heritage. Okay, cultural heritage, that too tangible cultural heritage. Then we have another topic. This topic is again from Science and Technology. Since this is the newspaper discussion of Sunday, every Sunday the Hindu comes up with huge number of science and tech topics. So we are discussing that. It says NASA and SpaceX crew of 4 blast off to ISS, International Space Station. Okay, so ISS stands for International Space Station. So what is International Space Station? We need to understand. Okay, so let's discuss what is International Space Station. Okay, we are going to understand about International Space Station. So the thing is, like, International Space Station is a habitable, right? It's a habitable man-made satellite. For example, let's say this is Earth. Okay, this is Earth. So above Earth there are, let's say, like, there can be many orbits. So I'm drawing those orbits. These orbits are named as low Earth orbit, medium Earth orbit, high Earth orbit, geosynchronous Earth orbit, geostationary Earth orbit, like that. So what happens, like, what we do generally, like, we place, right, we place International Space Station in low Earth orbit, where LEO. So this International Space Station is about 400 kilometers, okay, about 400 kilometers above the surface of Earth. And this low Earth orbit, right, what is low Earth orbit? Low Earth orbit is a orbit that, whose altitude is less than 2000 kilometers. Okay, any orbit which is less than 2000 kilometers from the surface of the Earth, that will be considered as low Earth orbit. Orbits are the path that the satellites, okay, that the satellites follow. So in the low Earth orbit at about 400 kilometers, what we have done, we have established, right, we have established a habitable zone, right? It is, let's say, man-made house-like satellite, where man-made house-like instrument, where, like, we can send human beings, we can send astronauts, and these astronauts can stay there. Okay, these astronauts can stay inside this particular thing, and this is so big. I mean, like, it is much bigger than 3 BHK apartment. Okay, so like there can be many astronauts who can stay there, right, for a period of about, let's say, like, up to 6 months. So recently what has happened, the United States of America and its, right, let's say, like, private agency. So USA has NASA. NASA stands for National Aeronautics and Space Administration. NASA and SpaceX, they have together, let's say launched a Dragon spacecraft. Name of the spacecraft is Dragon spacecraft. In that spacecraft, they have, let's say, sent 4 human beings, 4 astronauts, and these astronauts are going to go to the International Space Station. And the International Space Station that we have just talked about, this International Space Station is a collaborative project. Okay, it's a collaborative project of 5 to 6 nations. Okay, 5 to 6 nations. That had United States of America, it has Canada, it has Russia, right? It has Japan, and I think it has France also, like that. So this International Space Station is a collaborative project of many such countries, okay, and their space stations. So they have sent 4 people, and these people are going to go to the International Space Station. They're going to stay there, they're going to conduct experiments, and they're going to come back to Earth with their results. Okay, they're going to share their results from there itself. And what is the goal of this mission? The goal is to understand, okay, their goal is to understand if microorganism can survive and reproduce in space. So this is one of the goal. Second goal is another experiment will aim to assess the physiological differences between sleep on Earth and in space. Means, like, you know, these astronauts are going to sleep inside the International Space Station. They're going to see how it is physiologically different in let's say microgravity places where we have lesser gravity and on Earth. Okay, means like in the International Space Station. So this is related to that, right? So that's the thing. So with this, like, we are going to move to another topic. So, like, you know, we have just included a map. You can go through. This is world map. So now these are the last topics, the PT pointer topics. These are important for the prelims exam. It says carbon offset from conservation to overestimated. Okay, so basically, like, across many countries, like, people have adopted a thing that, like, let's say, like, you can do carbon emission, and for doing carbon emission you can pay to us, and we are going to do compensatory afforestation. We are going to do afforestation project which is going to offset the, let's say, greenhouse gases that you are emitting, which is going to balance the greenhouse gases that you are emitting. But this article says that the carbon offset projects, right, from forest conservation are overestimated. Means it says many RED, which is reduced emission from deforestation and forest degradation programs, have not reduced deforestation. Okay, and those that did had benefited substantially lower than been claimed. So they say that carbon offset targets have been overestimated. They have been claimed so much, but, like, they have achieved so less. That's the thing. Then second topic, it says pico flare jets within a coronal hole power sun, solar, wind. So we need to understand in this article what do we mean by pico flare jets, right? From the sun's surface, what happens on the sun's surface? Many nuclear reactions happen. They are known as nuclear fission reaction and nuclear fusion reaction. And because of those reactions, right, like, it emits, right, it emits, let's say, waves, light waves. It emits, let's say, like, you know, ultraviolet radiation. Means, like, it emits waves, okay, waves, and it emits flares. So pico flare jets are very small sized, right, packet, okay, jets. So it says extreme ultraviolet images of some sun obtained by the solar orbiter spacecraft have revealed numerous small scale jets within a coronal hole. So this is the thing. So you just needed to understand what are pico flare jets. These are jets that are emitted, okay, jets that are emitted from the solar thing. Jets means, like, you know, something that flows at a very high speed. Okay, the air can also be called as jet stream. So you might have heard about jet stream and all when you learned about geography, the atmospheric geography and all. Okay, or, like, this is the thing. So with this, like, we have another topic. It says Kaziranga National Park to get its first women field director. Where is Kaziranga National Park located? It is located in the state of Assam in India. This Kaziranga National Park is 118 years old park, and it has been designated as a UNESCO World Heritage Site in 1985. This is all that we need to remember. Where is Kaziranga National Park located? And that like it is a UNESCO World Heritage Site. We don't have to do anything with the person who is being appointed. Okay. Then there is another topic which says Indian Oil, L&T and Renew to form joint venture for green hydrogen projects. So in this article, we just need to understand what do we mean by green hydrogen. Green hydrogens are those hydrogens that are generated from renewable sources of energy. So from non-renewable sources of energy, the hydrogens that we generate, they are known as gray hydrogen. From nuclear power plants, the hydrogens that we generate, they are known as pink hydrogen. But from nuclear sources, from renewable sources of energy, we generate green hydrogen. So this is the thing. Okay. So further things, I mean, we are going to conduct the Hindu newspaper again tomorrow. So stay tuned. From now onward, I plan to take all the Hindu newspaper live with you. That's all from my side for the day. Thank you so much everyone for attending today's session. I hope you have a good day ahead. Thank you.